Rash, Zitz, and Pimple, collectively known as the Battletoads, have returned for their first outing since the 1994 arcade beat-em-up. And you know what? Despite some early misgivings, this is a worthy entry into the franchise. Before any of you little shits even start, I beat the original NES game before the internet, and I beat this game on the highest difficulty before reviewing it. So where have the Toads been for the past 26 years? Well, according to the game, they were in a hole in the ground that was also a simulation bunker, thinking that they were rich and famous, only to get found by a construction crew and then take on menial jobs. In order to get back into the limelight, they need to encounter the Dark Queen and defeat her again. Only now they've learned that things aren't going so hot for her either, and instead the focus has been turned to them uniting to take on the Topians, a flamboyant gay couple of celestial beings who seem to rule the fabulous universe. When this was announced, I was hyped, but when I saw it, I was a bit turned off by the new regular show Kim Possible-esque animation style. I guess that's just the way animation's going to have to look now. It's also heavy with the meta humor. There's references to the game. Hey, maybe they had outside circumstances and things didn't turn out perfectly. There's a lot of efforts at humor here that were outside of the writing of the Battletoads series. And though some of it kind of gets on my nerves, there were a lot of good jokes in this. The voice acting is top-notch. It looks like playing a cartoon. And you know what it strikes me as? Earthworm Jim done today. If Earthworm Jim was rebooted, much of that game would be seen in this. However, the big difference is Earthworm Jim's platforming shooter. This is platforming hybrid beat-em-up puzzle. The beat-em-up aspects are actually quite strong, though they take a lot of adjustments. You have to pull down triggers to shoot the bubblegum, to stick the guys. You gotta hold this button to turn into a train. It's not pick up and play. This is highly nuanced, interesting beat-em-up aspect, unfortunately undercut by a lack of Xbox Live co-op play. Oh, yeah, now you'll see things, Xbox Live local play. Oh, so you think, is it Xbox Live or is it local? They call it couch co-op. You're going to have 2 additional buddies with 2 additional controllers come to your house during the middle of a pandemic, and somehow you're going to play some Battletoads. It is sorely missed not having online play here. The 1991 original classic has built up quite a mythos over time, known for being incredibly difficult. Some would say the toughest game on the NES, and it was a difficulty that was also fair at the time. You had lives that would run out, continues that would deplete, areas that required quick twitch reactions, and that you would be able to practice only seldom before running out of lives and continues. The new game doesn't play that difficulty anymore, and maybe that's a sign of the times. You don't have lives, you don't have continues, you can reload generous checkpoints at will. But that doesn't mean it's not tough still. I mean, it took me almost 12 hours to beat it on Battletoads difficulty, without a guide, without looking up anything online, playing the game naturally. But as stated, the beat-em-up mechanics make this a strong game regardless. Which is surprising because beat-em-ups typically get monotonous. I think part of the beauty here is that it's dispersed gameplay. You'll have a few beat-em-up stages, and then you'll have some puzzles, and you'll have some trick platforming. You'll have outrun some goo as the Dark Queen, who sadly is no longer smoking hot. But you know what? She's quite endearing now. Yeah, they flattened her up, toned back the sex appeal, but I don't know, I actually want to hang out with this gal now. And of course the hover bikes have returned. No longer side-scrolling, now it's a tunnel vision chase, of which I can offer some advice. Whenever you come across a large barrier, quickly dash to the opposite side. Those barriers restrict your vision, so you gotta try to make up for it. And I won't ruin the ending for you, but to deal with the Topians, keep in mind that you can strike them without waiting for them to stagger. Go at them hard with Pimple's heavy morph attack, striking while in air to dodge their attacks. As Sega did with Streets of Rage, this is another retro enthusiast title farmed out to a smaller dev team. Rare went to De La La Studios, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, and I think they did a respectable job. I warmed up to this game and enjoyed it a great deal more than I anticipated. though I would still say that the lack of online play is a thorn in its side. I give Battletoads 2020 an 8.9 out of 10. Is it better than Hollow Knight? Hell yeah!
You just watched a video from my son. He's about 40 and lives in my basement, ladies. So subscriber and notify the bell for ringing. Okay, I said what you wanted me to say. Now do the goddamn dishes.